and we have the third 10. So this tells us that the first 10 has passed. We now have the second 10. And each of those has the load they are carrying. The first 10 days of Ramadan is called the days of forgiveness, while the second 10 is for rahmah of Allah. Then the last days are the days of entering Al-Jannah. The doors of Al-Jannah will be open. As Rasulullah said in that hadith, that during Ramadan, Allah will open the door of Jannah. So the last 10 days are the days that Allah will open the door of Jannah and make you and I an abbot of that Jannah. May Allah make it easy for each and every one of us. Alright, so when you look at this topic, as I said, your good deeds can't take you to Jannah. What does that really mean? The Prophet ﷺ mentioned to have said this, that yes, your salat will not take you to Jannah. Your fasting will not take you to Jannah. Your zakat will not take you to Jannah. Your hajj will not take you to Jannah. All your good deeds will not take you to Jannah. Then the Prophet, the Sahaba, they now ask, the messengers of Allah, they ask the Sahaba, the companions, they ask him, Ya Rasulullah, even you? He said, yes, even him, Ya Rasulullah. All those actions will not take you to Jannah. Then what will now take us to Jannah? La ilaha illallah. What will take us to Jannah is this second 10 days of Ramadan. And what is embedded in it is the rahmah of Allah. So it is only the rahmah of Allah that will take you and I to Al-Jannah. So this rahmah of Allah is what we should seek for. It is what we should strive for. What we are doing. If I ask this question, why are we doing what we are doing? Why are we observing Salat? Why are we fasting in the month of Ramadan? Why do we do zakat? Why do we go to Hajj? All this, why are we doing that? We are doing that because we want Allah's forgiveness so that He can show mercy upon us. Now, if you see the way it has been designed, the first 10 days is rahmah of Allah, is forgiveness of Allah, maghfirah. And this maghfirah, when Allah forgives you, is shower His mercy. And that is why it is said that Allah is Ghafurun Rahim. You see, He will forgive you and shower His blessing upon you. So Allah is Ghafurun Rahim. So you see now, all human beings, all our deeds, no matter how it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do what? Can forgive you. He can do away with all what you have sinned before. No matter how strenuous, how gigantic, how big, how gargantua your sins are, Allah is able to do what? To forgive you all those sins. The Prophet said, Ta'ibu minan zambi kaman la zamba lahu, that he who Allah has forgiven is like that person that has not sinned before. So you can see from that aspect, it tells you that your sins can be forgiven. Now, whatever we are doing is to seek for Allah's forgiveness. Why we are doing what we are doing is to seek for Allah's forgiveness so that we can get the rahmah of Allah. I want to categorically say that Jannah is not earned. Jannah is a gift of Allah. Yes, Jannah is not earned. Jannah is a gift from Allah. If you can earn Jannah, your deeds, look at you, your salat, is it enough? Is it enough to enter Al-Jannah? Can you categorically say that all your deeds are able to take you to Al-Jannah? This question is, can you say that all what you have done can take you to Al-Jannah? Can you say that? If not the rahmah of Allah, if not the overlooking of what Allah overlooks our deeds, you cannot categorically say it can take you to Jannah. And that is why it is very, very important. There is a designed prayer for forgiveness in Ramadan when they said, Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'afu anna. You see, Allah, loves the person that asks for forgiveness. And He said, if you ask, then He forgives you. So it is only Allah's forgiveness Allah's rahmah that can take you and I to Al-Jannah. So this month is a month in which Allah now put his rahmah in the second 10 days of Ramadan, that we should seek for it. That we should what? Seek for it. You know, for us to obey Allah, for Allah to create, the purpose of the creation is for us to worship Allah. Is that not so? And in the worship of Allah, it means that Allah has the right, if we disobey Him, He has the right to put us in hellfire. He has the right to even seize our life immediately. He has the right. But He gave us life. He gave us hand. He gave us all what He has given us, despite the fact that we still disobey Him. So if you want to say, oh, this is what we are doing, let me take you off, it is Rahmah that keeps us. And He asked that we should continue asking for His Rahmah. So this consciousness that Ramadan has brought, la alaikum ta'takun, that Ramadan has brought, is for us to now have that consciousness and understand that we need to stick or strive or find the gift of Allah, which is the Rahmah of Allah. And we should keep asking for that Rahmah of Allah. And Allah said, it is in between these last 10 days, this second 10 days. This second 10 days of Ramadan is the Rahmah of Allah. That is where the Rahmah of Allah is. Now you have gotten where the Rahmah of Allah is. Do you want to seek for it? Do you want to ask for it? Do you want to beg for it? It is illa Rahmatul Rabbi. The Prophet ﷺ confirmed. If not, why will the Prophet ﷺ be doing astaghfirullah every day before he sleep? 100. La ilaha illallah. He's still asking for forgiveness from Allah. And you will not find anywhere Allah is talking about Jannah or about talking about the success of this world. He will ask that we should ask for forgiveness. Yes, he will talk about forgiveness and then we'll say put it to Jannah. If you look at Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Al-Adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min al-azab al-alim. Talk about tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi wa tujahiduna fi sabilillahi bi amwalikum wa anfusikum zalikum khairul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. What follows the verse? Allah now said, I will forgive you. If you do all those things, I will forgive you and I'll put you to Jannah. Did you see? So whenever he talks about it, and he wants to talk about the success of this world too, he talked about, I'll put you to Jannah. When he talks about innahu, he said, he is innahu kana ghafaran yurzil alaykum midraran. You see, when you ask for forgiveness, when you ask for forgiveness in that ayah, he said, if you ask for forgiveness, I will forgive you because I am the forgiver. Then I will now give you wealth. I will give you children. He said, I will even bring rain so that you can grow crop, so that you can eat. Then he still go for that I will now put you into Jannah. So you can see that it is this forgiveness of Allah, then the Rahmah of Allah, then you enter Al-Jannah. So can you say that your deeds can take you to Al-Jannah? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So no matter how, the only one thing is if Allah is Maghfirah, is Al-Ghafur to you. If Allah is Ar-Rahman to you, that is the only way that you can do what? That you can enter Al-Jannah. You can only we are doing the salat, we are doing the fasting, we are doing all those things so that we can seek the forgiveness and the rahmah of Allah. So if you want to know why we are worshipping Allah, why we are doing what we are doing for Allah, why we are doing everything for the sake of Allah, is to seek for Allah's forgiveness and mercy so that we can enter Al-Jannah. Do you see that now? So we now need to tell the world that the Allah that you and I worship is a merciful God. You see, we need to let the world know that we are worshiping a merciful God. If an unbeliever tells you that you are worshiping a wicked God, just tell him to open the Quran. Open the Quran, Quran chapter 1. Let him read the first verse. It starts with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the merciful. Tell him to open chapter 2 of the Quran. It starts again with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Tell him to open chapter 3. It starts again with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Allah introduces himself in every chapter of the Quran that he is the most beneficent, the most merciful, and the world must know that it is that God that you and I worship. He is full of mercy. He gives mercy to whomever he wishes. So he now asks us to be conscious of his mercy, to be conscious and find his mercy. Then he now put it in between this month, and that's why we always say that Ramadan is the best 30 days ever of your life. The best 30 days of your life is here. We have spent the first 10 days. We have spent the 11 days of that 30 days. We are in the 12th day, and we are asked to keep seeking for the mercy of Allah. It is not by accident when the Prophet ﷺ said Ameen, and in his Ameen he referred to the fact that he that sees Ramadan, he that Allah spare his life to experience Ramadan and is unable to see the rahmah of Allah on the floor. You see, Allah is so merciful. Allah so loves us. Allah so loves us to the extent that he said, call me, I will answer you. When you just call him, no matter how your sin, no matter how far you have been sinning, how many years that you have been going through all the wrong things that you have been doing in life, one day, just in a moment, and you just regain your consciousness, and you said, Ya Allah, he will answer you. You say, oh my servant, you called me, and you said, forgive me. As you said that, I've forgiven you. La ilaha illallah. You see, no matter how long you have been sinning, no matter how big your sin is, he is Ghafurun, he is Rahim. He also tells us that this is part of his attribute. He forgives. After that, he equally do what? He equally give you mercy. This is the time to seek for Allah's mercy. Because all what we come to do on the surface of the earth, all the ibadah that we are created to do on the surface of the earth, we are doing them not for anything than to see the pleasure of Allah, than to see the rahmah of Allah, than to see the forgiveness of Allah, than to enter Al-Jannah. And now we now have a month that Allah has given us. We now have a section inside that month that this section is dedicated for the mercy of Allah. Why can't you and I seek that mercy? Why can't you and I strive in getting that mercy? Wow, Allah is so merciful. Allah is so merciful. Like, Allah is so merciful. It was said that on the day of Qiyamah, somebody, his sins will be so much that Allah will say, this sin is so much, take him to hellfire. And to hellfire. And he will be resisting. When he gets closer to hellfire, so hellfire will also resist in accepting him. Then Allah will say, yeah, you hellfire, why are you resisting to accept him? He said, Allah is asking for your refuge, he's asking for refuge, he's asking for your forgiveness. Allah said, he does. Oh, I have forgiven him, take him to Al-Jannah. Call me, just ask me, tell me to forgive you. Call upon me to forgive you. That is Allah for you. That is the God. That is Allah that you and I worship. We need to tell the world. We need to show it. We need to know it inside us that He is a merciful God. Another narration for another one. They looked at his sin again. This sin was so much. And Allah said, you're going to go to hellfire. Then he said, no, Ya Allah, You surprise me, Ya Allah. Allah said, I surprise you. Say, yes. Is this not your deeds on the surface of the earth? Are these not your deeds? Is it not you that did it? He said, yes, I am. So why did I surprise you? He said, Ya Allah, I don't believe this. You don't believe what? Yeah, Ya Allah, you are so merciful. You should have done this to me. You have shown me your mercy. La ilaha illallah. Allah said, He called me by my name, merciful. He called me by my mercy, and I find Him merciful. And inshallah, I'm going to shower my mercy on him, and inshallah, take him to paradise. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is the Lord that we worship. This is who we worship. The most beneficent, the most merciful. It is not by accident that is most merciful. And His mercy, you see, the entirety of this world will consume it, and He will not feel it. He won't feel the mercy. He won't feel that it has been consumed. La ilaha illallah. You have heard of a story of someone who has killed 99 people. 99. And he went to a sheikh. He asked, Ya sheikh, have killed so and so. What is my state in the sight of Allah? What is it in the sight of Allah? He said, oh, in the sight of Allah, don't worry. You have sinned a lot. You have sinned a lot. Yes, Allah is going to crush you. Allah is going to do this. You are going to enter hellfire. We were told that he just cut off that sheikh head again. Then he went to another sheikh. He asked, what is the state? What is my state in the sight of Allah? That one said, oh, Allah is Ghafur Rahim. Allah can forgive you and still shower His mercy upon you. He says, that's so. He said, yes. How can I do that? He said, yes. You have to walk down. Walk down. Some people say he walked down to Mecca. You know, walk down to Mecca. When you get to Mecca, ask for Allah's forgiveness. Allah is going to forgive you. Then this person, you know, embark on the walk for forgiveness. And as he was going, he died. He died on the way. Now, the angel, you know, that account for bad deeds just came down and said, this person is my candidate. And that one that also account for the people that does good also come down and say, this is my candidate. And they were dragging this man. Who owns this man among the two angels? Then Allah sent another angel to now say, okay, let's settle this. Can we look at where he is going? If he is nearer to where he is going, that is a person of paradise. But if he is farther than where he is going before he died, then he is a person of hellfire. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then, when they were about to do the measurement, this hadith is not about this man, it is about Allah. When they were about to do this measurement, Allah shrinked the earth. Allah squeezed the earth. Allah compressed the earth to the extent that they measure to the fact that this man is nearer to where he's supposed to ask for forgiveness. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allah is so merciful. He shrinked, and they measured, they found out that he is closer to where he's going. And the angel that takes people that are going to paradise grabbed him. Is my candidate. La ilaha illallah. But that is Allah for you. That is mercy of Allah for you. That is the merciful God. Your deeds, your salat, your psalm, your hajj, and all your good deeds gathered together. See, even if all mankind gathered all their deeds and they give it to one person, just one person, and say, you take, so that you can get the mercy of Allah, it does not equate with the mercy that Allah has done to us. It's not enough for him to get the mercy of Allah, because it's not equal to what Allah has done to us. So it is only the mercy of Allah. And this one, it is what you need to keep seeking. This is what you need to keep asking. This is what you keep to keep striving for. And that is why Islam is not a dogmatic religion. You don't just now fold your hands and say, let the mercy of Allah comes. No, you still need to strive. You still need to go to Hajj. You still need to do Salat. You still need to fast. You still need to do Zakat. You still need to do good around people. Then when you are doing that, then you now see the mercy of Allah. You see, this is how to see the mercy of Allah. This is how to see the mercy of Allah. So you see, when we are talking about the mercy of Allah, the one way to see the mercy of Allah is to worship Allah. Then Allah now show His mercy. So while you are worshiping Allah, you'll be asking for His mercy. You'll be asking for His mercy. Another way to see the mercy of Allah is to read the Quran. This is the month of the Quran. It's not by accident. Read the Quran. Study the Quran. Understand the Quran. Understand the mercy of Allah. Do lot of askar. Do lot of askar. Remember Allah. Remember Him morning, night, day. Remember Him. This is how to do it. So when you do that, then He will shower His mercy upon you. So this second 10 days of Ramadan is very, very important in our life. It's very, very, because it's full of the rahmah of Allah. And as I've told you, your deeds, your action, everything that you are doing, your good deeds, all cannot take you except the rahmah of Allah. Let's seek it. Let's work for it. Let's strive for it. Let's do jihad for it. Let's do good with the aim of looking for Allah's forgiveness and His rahmah. Let's worship Allah for the sake of looking for His forgiveness and His rahmah. Let's fast and be conscious for looking for the forgiveness and rahmah of Allah. That is the only way that we can go. That is the only way that we can go. The forgiveness and rahmah of Allah. If Allah forgives you, He shower His mercy upon you. And if He showers His mercy upon you, you are there into Jannah. May Allah make it easy for us. All right, let's go for a short commercial. This program, as I said, is sponsored by Lotus Capital. Yes, and let's go for a short commercial on Lotus Capital. When we come back, we'll continue. Inshallah, we'll open the line so that you can call in and ask 1 or 2 questions. If you have contributions, you can call in to do that. If you have clarification, you can equally call in to clarify. Assalamu alaikum.
Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 018 Wealth, the halal way. Oh, the good old days, when the only worry was finding a good ball to play. Those were the days when values were taught and transferred from one generation to the other. But just because times have changed doesn't mean the values should too. And that's why even when it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 0809-065-0622. Lotus Capital Limited, creating wealth the halal way.
MashaAllah, Lotus Capital, creating wealth the halal way. You have gotten their numbers to call. You have to call 0908 7058 409. And if you want to go to their office is located at Yobe Investment House, 6th floor, CBD, behind Federal Ministry of Finance. That is Lotus Capital Office here in Abuja. May Allah make it easy for each and every one of us. All right. What we have been discussing, we have a call here. Yes, right now I think this is the call. We have a call. All right. Assalamu alaikum. All right. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Hajara of the Kadri. I'm from Abuja.
All right. So what do you have for us? Hello?
I just want to appreciate you for all the insights of increasing our iman this afternoon and wish you Allah Rahama and more blessings in Ramadan. Thank you.
All right, mashallah. So what's your take? Have you been listening to this program?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your take? Just give us one take.
The program is very exciting and we wish to have more of it so that at least it goes round and maybe she use other radio stations too.
Okay.
The right population gets it.
All right. May Allah make it easy for us. Thank you, Ajia. Oh, yeah, man. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan. All right. You're welcome. All right. That is beautiful one that we should see other radio station, but still stick to Citizen FM 93.7. All right. If you still want to be part of this program, the number remains 0903 22 29 797. Again, if you want to be part of this program, the number remains 0903 22 29 797. Or you can call 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion. So we are trying to let us understand that it is the rahmah of Allah, it is the forgiveness of Allah that will give us whatever we're looking for in this world. You have the reward of this world and you have that of the Yawm al-Qiyamah, inshallah. So if you know how Allah loves you, no matter how big your sins are, no matter, Allah said, don't give up. Don't give up. He said, don't give up of the rahmah of Allah. You see, don't give up. The rahmah of Allah is there. Don't give up. Fight it. Find it. Strive for it. It is when you do that that you will get the rahmah of Allah. He's asking us not to give up. La ilaha illallah. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yes, don't give up. So when you call upon Allah, He's there to answer you. He has asked us that when our servant, he told the prophet, why is laka ibadi anni fa inni qaribu jibu dawata da izada anni falyastajibu li wal yu'minu bi. You see that if you call me, I'm going to answer you. Now call upon Allah so that Allah answers you. And this time around is to call Him and ask for His forgiveness and His mercy. Call Him and give lots of forgiveness and His mercy. And as you do that, you are equally studying the Quran. Study the Quran, listen to the Quran, understand the Quran, live by the Quran. When you do that, you see the mercy of Allah. I said the mercy of Allah is not earned, it's a gift from Allah. And Allah gives it to whoever He wishes. Look at the stories I've just mentioned. Those stories, you just do it before you know it, this person just get it. Some people have gotten the rahmah of Allah by getting the ticket of Al-Jannah even when they are on the surface of the earth. Do you think they don't sin? Do you think they're that pure? But when Allah erases His sin, kaman lanzam ballahu, as if you have not sinned before, that is Allah's forgiveness for you. And I said the whole world must know the God that we worship, that He is a merciful God. And you know what? It is the way you see God, it is the way you perceive Him that He's going to be for you. It is the way you perceive Him. He said, if you come to me with an hand span, He said, I will come to you with an hand's length. La ilaha illallah. If you come to me walking, He said, I will come to you running. So imagine, if you now come to him running, what will he do? He will come to you flying. La ilaha illallah. He say, if you remember me, I will remember you. If you forget me, I will forget you. If you remember me, I will remember you. If you forget me, I will forget you. You know where he says I will forget you? When he said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس من قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعمل ولا تكونوا كالذين ناسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. If you say you forget me, I will also forget you. If you remember me, I will also remember you. So this consciousness, لعلكم تتقون, of Ramadan is the consciousness of the remembrance of Allah. Is the consciousness of seeking the rahmah of Allah. It is the consciousness of asking for the forgiveness of Allah. It's the consciousness of looking at how to enter the Al-Jannah of Allah. And all this thing is encapsulated in the month of Ramadan. And that's why we call it the best 30 days of your life. That is where Allah restructure, redesign, and refocus your life towards your aims. But some people are too lazy. Some people are too tired. Some people are too busy. They don't want to grab this time. They don't want to understand and grab this time. This time comes, but just once. And you have the opportunity. That is why it is not by accident I said earlier on. You don't just pass through Ramadan and don't let Ramadan pass through you. You have to be conscious. Conscious of the rahmah of Allah. Conscious. Once you worship, once you pray salat, you observe salat, once you do your hajj, once you go to where you want to do the zakat, when you fast, once you do all this la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, once you confirm all those things, you just be seeking for the forgiveness of Allah. And as you do that, Allah will forgive you. As you do that, Allah will stand by you. As you do that, Allah will give you everything that you want on the surface of the earth and in the day of Qiyamah. So what are you waiting for? Why are you still lazy? Why are you still proving busy? Why are you so tired? Why not stand up? Kum fa'andir. Why not just stand up? Why not just strive? Why not just ask for the gift of the mercy of Allah? Why not ask for His forgiveness? If you want to be part of this program, I still have a few minutes to go. The number still remains 0903 22 29 797, or you call 0818 22 22 205, or you can call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this program. And what we are discussing so far is what your deeds can't take you to Jannah. But now I know you have known that thing that can take you to Jannah. Then I will see you when you get there. Is that not so? Yes, I will see you when you get there. You remember that song that says, I will see you when you get there? He equally asks, will you ever get there? Okay, I will see you when you get there. See you when you get there, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for each and every one of us. May Allah shower the blessings of His rahmah and His forgiveness for each and every one of us. May Allah accept our deeds as an act of ibadah. When it's accepted, He will forgive us. When it's accepted, He will shower His mercy upon us. He will just overlook all those small things that we have done. He will overlook it. And that is why we have asked to always say, Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'afu anna. Let's keep asking for Allah's forgiveness. Let's keep asking for Allah's forgiveness. He loves those people that does that. He loves them. He loves people that does that. How do you imagine that they say God loves you? God loves you. God say He loves you. You are doing those things that makes Him love you. He will forgive you. As they say, love, They say marriage is between two forgivers. It is the love that is in between them that they forgive one another. The love of Allah also forgives who He loves. So seek for the love of Allah. How do you do that? Remember Him. Call upon Him. Ask Him for His love. Read the Quran. Study the Quran. Know more about the Quran. Read the Azkar. Call upon Him. Praise Him. Glorify Him. Do good. He will see all those things that you are doing, and it is His mercy. He will just look at it and say, oh, this person deserves to be forgiven. All the little one that he has done, I've forgiven him because he strives. Islam is not a dogmatic religion. You don't just stay and say, oh, let things just happen. Oh, it will happen like that. No. Even the gift of Allah, you must strive for it. And when you strive for it, He will now bring. See, anything times zero is zero. Anything times zero is zero now. So it is when you put those belief, you put those action, you put everything into action, then times the mercy of Allah, then you are there. But when Allah wants to give you that mercy, because the mercy is already all over, when He gives you that mercy, but He finds zero in your account, it's times zero. Because He's going to times His mercy to whatever you have done. So we have the opportunity. Ramadan is 12. If you have missed the first 10, or you have missed to grab all those opportunities that are there, it is not still over until it is over. So you still have enough time so that you and I will meet there in Al-Jannah. May Allah make it easy for each and every one of us. This is going to be the length and breadth of this discussion, inshallah. Inshallah, this program is sponsored by Lotus Capital. As I said, Lotus Capital, if you want to call them in order to know what they do, you can equally call Lotus Capital on those number. You can call them on 090 87 05 8409. And Lotus Capital's office is in Yobe Investment House, 6th floor, CBD, behind Federal Ministry of Finance, Abuja. You understand? That is it. So you can call them on 090 87 05 8409. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of Lotus Investment. They are into mutual investment. They are equally into fixed investment. They are equally into halal investment. All those three packages are interesting package for you and I to live in. And if we do that, you thank me later. Inshallah, let's go for a short commercial over that. And I still remain yours, Olaide Abdurazak, aka Philosopher King. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 0809-065-0622. Lotus Capital Limited, creating wealth the halal way. Oh, the good old days, when the only worry was finding a good ball to play. Those were the days when values were taught and transferred from one generation to the other. But just because times have changed doesn't mean the values should too. And that's why even when it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 0809-065-0622. Lotus Capital Limited, creating wealth the halal way. Oh, the good old days, when the only worry was finding a good ball to play. Those were the days when values were taught and transferred from one generation to the other. But just because times have changed doesn't mean the values should too. And that's why even when it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 0809-065-0622. Lotus Capital Limited. Creating wealth the halal way. Oh, the good old days, when the only worry was finding a good ball to play. Those were the days when values were taught and transferred from one generation to the other. But just because times have changed doesn't mean the values should too. And that's why even when it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical investment options with competitive returns offered by a team of SEC-registered fund managers. With over 15 years experience, Lotus Capital gives you value for your values. Visit www.lotuscapitallimited.com. If you're in Abuja, call 0908-705-8409. And if you're in Kano, call 0809-065-0622. Lotus Capital Limited. Creating wealth the halal way. Oh, the good old days, when the only worry was finding a good ball to play. Those were the days when values were taught and transferred from one generation to the other. But just because times have changed doesn't mean the values should too. And that's why even when it comes to investing, I choose halal because I get to do the right thing. Get value for your values. Invest with Lotus Capital today and enjoy a variety of ethical...